If you were in Central Park tonight, you may have noticed stepped-up police patrols. This after a spike of robberies and assaults. Allie Bauman has details on the patrol plans that some are calling controversial.
You can see the patrols as soon as you walk in the park. The NYPD says these robberies are happening between 7 p.m. and 1 a.m. and are directing officers to be aware of large groups of teenage boys who they believe are taking things like jewelry and wallets by force. Police have already arrested an 11-year-old boy for stealing a credit card in the park. By bike, by horse, and by foot, dozens of NYPD officers fan out across Central Park Wednesday. The show of force, a response to robberies in the park, up 200% so far this year.
At this point in time, we're ready to call this is a migrant robbery pattern.
Wednesday morning, police say an 82-year-old woman was pushed by a man near the tennis courts off 96th Street, and they're investigating two separate robberies from.
We have dozens of cops in the park right now, drones, foot patrol, they're on bikes, they're on horses, and what they're trying to do is send a message. This rash of crimes, the NYPD saying.
This morning, I got a message from the Commissioner Caban, and he wanted me to just update the public on what's going on. He likes to have the public updated with crime conditions as they occur in the city. And this morning, we're here to bring awareness to crime conditions that are going on in Central Park. This is one of the most iconic locations in New York City. It's heavily used. All types.
This morning, another robbery in Central Park. This comes amid a rise in crime in the popular public space. Today, New York's Tracy Strahan's there with more on the city's plans to fight back. Tracy, good morning.
Oh, Darlene, good morning to you. We know there are more than 8,000 acres here in Central Park, making it often tough to keep up with. We know there are more than 8,000 acres here in Central Park, making it often tough to keep up with.
We know there are more than 8,000 acres here in Central Park, making it often tough to keep up with for the NYPD, but now they've
hatched a plan to do so, especially because there was just
the crown jewel of New York City, Central Park, tonight is going to glitter, not with jewels, but with extra cops. Dozens of them, in fact. This after a recent surge in robberies. The latest robbery last night when two men were mugged by teenagers. Robberies year to date in the park have more than tripled. The rise in robberies at least partly blamed on young migrants living in city shelters. Eyewitness News reporter Janice Yu live in the park tonight with the very latest. Janice.
Bill, those officers actually just deployed within the last half hour or so, and you can see behind me still the mobile command post is here, and the officers will be here every single night until the department deems it's safe for people here. Again, we're talking about this uptick in robberies, and they also put these posters up throughout the park. This is in reference to a group of teenagers, they say, who mugged a man back on August 1st. So they are still looking for those suspects.
An alarming rise in crime at Central Park, and now the NYPD considering a new approach to try to make the park visitors feel safe. And good evening, everyone, at 5 o'clock. I'm Bill Ritter.
And I'm Sade Betterenwall. The number of robberies in Central Park has tripled compared to this time last year. The number of robberies in Central Park has tripled compared to this time last year.
All right, we're going to breaking news right now. The NYPD is holding a news conference about the recent crimes in Central Park.
And while we have these resources here, we have the Borough Commander, Chief Stevenson, and just to show the partnership and how we stay connected, we have Shatik Mitchell, who's the director from the Central Park Conservancy here, and our CEO of Central Park. All right, so Chief Shell.
Good evening. Like Commissioner Shepard said, this is the most iconic park in the world, one of the most iconic locations in the world. There is no secrets being kept here. Crime is up in this park for the year, specifically robberies. Robberies are the name of the game here. Just last night, you're all aware, we took 2 robberies in the park, and just this morning, late morning, we took an assault on an elderly person in the northern side of the park. The robberies occurring here in this park.
Good day, officer. Can you tell me where Evodia Field is?
LaGuardia Field?
Evodia Field.
E40?
Evodia.
Evodia.
No, you don't have to look it up. You don't.
No, I don't know. No.
What about Pilgrim Hill?
I'm not sure. Like, well, they're like, this park is so big, I'm not sure where to
Oh, okay. You work in Central Park, eh? Oh, okay. Thank you. Good evening, officer.
How you doing?
Do you know where Evodia Field is?
Evodia Field?
Yeah. You don't have to look it up. It's all right.
I'll look it up. I'm here all night. I'm in no rush.
What about Pilgrim Hill? Do you know where that is?
Which one do you want to go to first?
Evodia Field. Evodia.
You're looking for birds?
Yeah.
Let me take a walk into this park over here.
All right.
I will see you later.
Be here. Take it easy. Sure.
How come there's so many cops in the park?
So there was we had a string of robberies. So they flooded the park to make sure that people could still enjoy the rest of the summer.
But there's a precinct just for the park, right?
On 86th Street, yeah.
And we still had crime?
They have the least amount of cops in the entire city, Central Park.
Really?
It's almost like a specialized detail. So I'm just trying to get the perfect map for you to show you where it might be. What birds are you looking for? Because they're mapping them out by birds here.
Red-tailed hawks. I'm actually planning to come back tomorrow when it's sunny, but I wanted to see where it is first.
Вот, а потом я купил ему типа карбоновые вилки
Zolia Pond, Rambles. I'm just trying to get you the best one, man. Sorry. I don't think any one of these are really showing them too well. Just breaking them down by birds.
You haven't been there at all?
No, I stay on the outer loop. I don't watch the birds. I run around this big loop here every single day for 6 miles, so I typically don't work here. I'm pretty sure this is it right here. It's sort of near the boathouse.
Okay, I think I can find it.
It's tough because you got to wind in. Like you take the upper loop and then you got to get winded in. So if you find the boathouse, which is down in the 60s, it's going to be sort of right over there. It's tough because you got to find the right path that winds you in there.
I'll find it. I'll look for people with binoculars.
Yeah.
Thank you, man. Sorry.
Basically go around the question. And then at the end you say, and if all fails, then I'll call.
Hi, do you guys know where Evodia Field is?
No, I don't
know.
Evodia Field. I got a
No.
map, but no.
No problem. Thank you. Good day, officer. Do you know where Evodia Field is?
What's happening?
Do you know where Evodia Field is?
I have no idea.
No.
Evodia Field?
I'll ask around. Don't worry.
Hallo? Hallo there. Oh. No, we здесь на медицине. Okay. Okay, perfect. Okay, Papa. Trying to figure out where it is. Evodia Field. What kind of field is it? Is it baseball or?
I think it's like a lawn.
This is the lawn.
Do you know what the name of that is?
That's the Shepherd, right?
Shepherd?
Shepherd Meadow.
Shepherd Meadow. No. Don't worry about it. I'll look.
Evodia or Evodia?
Evodia.
Evodia.
Nothing here by that.
No idea, man.
No problem, man. Is there a reason why there's so many cops in the park?
Yes, crime went up.
Crime went up.
Yes, sir. That's
All right,
why.
man.
No, I'm serious. I'm not joking. A lot of crime happening, so that's why they deployed us.
All right, thank you. Excuse me, guys. Do you know where Pilgrim Hill is?
No. Hold on one second. What hill? Pilgrim Hill?
No, don't worry. I'll get it. Don't worry.
I'm sorry.
No problem.
Officers made their way into Central Park Wednesday afternoon, a show of force as the department continues to try to tackle the recent uptick in crime in the park.
We're not going to tolerate crimes in one of the most iconic locations in the world. And so behind me, you see the resources that we're going to deploy over the next days, weeks, whatever it takes to keep this place safe.
Just about an hour ago, the NYPD sent out dozens of extra officers to patrol Central Park. This after a rise in crimes in the park. The latest robbery just last night, and then this morning, an 82-year-old woman was pushed to the ground. Crimes have tripled in the park from this time last year. News 4's Gabi Acevedo is there in Central Park with what we know about the patrols. Gabi?
And David, you can already see and feel that presence, that enhanced police presence across parts of Central Park with the goal of stopping that surge in criminal activity, which investigators believe is tied to a group of young migrants committing some of these crimes. The NYPD, as I mentioned, increasing its presence in Central Park after recent attacks and a 200% increase in robberies across the park so far this year. As David mentioned this morning, an 82-year-old woman was pushed to the ground, suffering some injuries, and last night, detectives say two men in their 20s were robbed of some items near West Drive. The search is on now for two suspects. Before that, police took 3 teenagers into custody.
Nothing is happening in Central Park, right? Nothing is happening in Central Park, right?